Hello students, let us discuss about Unit 2 today, the cost of capital. It's a very important topic. The total financial management subject is depending upon the cost of capital. So here basically for your simple understanding, cost of capital of a firm is the minimum rate of return expected by its investors. So what does it mean is the minimum rate of return expected by its investors is called as cost of capital. It is the weighted average cost of capital of various sources of finance used in a firm. So what does weighted average cost of capital of various sources of finance means? We have already discussed various sources of finance are long-term finances are debenture, preference capital, preferential capital, retained earnings and equity shares. So here each source of capital is called as specific source of capital, and total of all the specific source of capital is called as weighted average cost of capital. So weighted average cost of capital should always be less than the rate of return which where we are investing our capital. So then we can say that the company is doing good. So weighted average cost of capital is the sum of various sources of finances. What are various sources of finances? Debt, preference shares, equity shares, retained earnings. And always what we should maintain? WACC should be less than the rate of return what we are getting from the investment. The concept of cost of capital is very important in the financial management. Why? Because a decision to invest in a particular project, let it be like purchase of machinery, purchase of land, purchase of building, any project, that depends upon the cost of capital, how you are investing in that project, what type of capital you are using, and how much charges we are paying for that capital. For every these sources of capital we have a charge. Simple terminology, charge means like for example you are raising the capital through debentures, you have to pay interest rate, and in case of you are raising the capital through preference capital you have to pay dividend. Here also dividend, equity shares also dividend. So here the interest rate, the dividend, whatever we are paying, that should be less than the return what you get from this project. The capital what you are raising, you are using somewhere, some projects, some investment decision you are making with that capital. So that decision is totally depend upon whether to take up that investment or not to take that project, totally depending upon the cost of capital. So now you might have understood the importance of cost of capital. This cost of capital will decide whether to raise the capital, and another thing, whether to invest that capital in this investment project or not. So this cost of capital is also called as cut-off rate, which is the minimum rate of return expected by shareholders. So cut-off rate means, for example, for your passing, like out of 100, if you take 35% as a passing marks in your examination. Similarly, here also cut-off rate is the minimum rate of return expected by shareholders. If at all the company is unable to earn minimum rate of return, in case if company doesn't achieve the cut-off rate, then the market value of the shares will fall. That means the cost of capital, like the cost of various source of capital, should always be less than the return which we are getting from that investment in a particular project. Then market value of the share increases. So this is possible by constructing a optimal capital structure. So we have already discussed optimal capital structure is selecting a different sources or combination of capital in such a way that cost of capital should always be less than the return what we are getting from that investment. So this is called as wealth maximization. What is wealth maximization? Is maintaining a optimal capital structure, or to see that the cost of capital should always be less than the return on the investment, then it is called as wealth maximization. Why? Because if this is the condition, K less than R, cost of capital is denoted by K and the return expected by the investment is R. If K is less than R, we are able to increase the market value of the shares. Then we are increasing the value of the firm. Increasing the value of the firm is nothing but increasing the shareholders' wealth, or this is also called as wealth maximization. So through optimal capital structure, wealth maximization is possible. So here this optimal capital structure minimizes the cost of capital. This is possible by selecting appropriate sources of capital for raising the funds and the cheapest source of capital. Then only we can obtain a optimal capital structure. Optimal capital structure leads to wealth maximization. Wealth maximization leads to increase in market value of shares. Increase in market value of shares leads to increase in the value of the firm, or increase in the value of shareholders' money. So here cost of capital means, now you understood the minimum rate of return, or the cutoff rate, we can take it as K. That is like, for example, I have borrowed the capital, like I have taken a loan. The interest rate is 8%. So here 8% interest what I have to pay on the loan is called as cost of capital. And by taking that loan, I have invested in some project. That project is getting me the return 10%. So here cost of capital, I borrowed the loan at 8% interest rate, and I am getting the return by that capital, if I have invested in some project, 10%. So here cost of capital is less than the return what I am getting from that investment. Then it is called as a optimal capital structure. And this is, if it is achieved, then we are increasing the wealth maximization. We have two objectives in financial management: profit maximization and wealth maximization. Wealth maximization means increase in the value of the firm, or increase in the shareholders' wealth. So this is possible through optimal capital structure. Now you might have understood the exact meaning of cost of capital. Simple terminology: the amount, the financial commitment, or the amount what we have to pay. Like if you are raising the fund through debenture, you will pay the interest rate. If you are raising the fund through equity shares or preference shares, you will pay the dividend. Like that, the amount what we have to financial commitment, the interest rate or the dividend what we have to pay after raising the capital is called as cost of capital. So this cost of capital, if we have four sources we have already discussed. So now when we have to calculate the individual sources of finances cost of capital, that is four sources we have already discussed. So we have formulae how to find out the cost of debenture is denoted by KD, cost of preference shares denoted by KP, cost of preference shares. K is denoted by cost of capital. Here raising the capital through preference shares, that's why it is called as KP. And here KE means cost of equity shares. Here we are raising the capital through equity shares, and cost of equity shares is called denoted by KE. KR is cost of retained earnings. So here we have formula: KD cost of debenture, KP preference shares, KE cost of equity shares, KR cost of retained earnings. So each source of capital is called as specific source of capital, and sum of this each source of capital is called as weighted total specific cost divided by number of sources of capital is called weighted average cost of capital. So in this we have the formula. How do we calculate cost of debenture? Redeemable debentures, before tax, after tax. Redeemable preference shares, irredeemable preference shares, before tax, after tax. Like this individual source of finance we have to calculate. Then we have to add whatever the source. For example, I am taking these two sources for my raising of capital. I will calculate cost of debt plus cost of preference shares, add it, divided by number of how many sources, 2, divided by 2, I will get weighted average cost of capital. Then after this I will take weighted average cost of capital and verify whether the WACC is greater than or less than the return what I am getting from the investment. If it is K less than R, then it will increase the market value of the firm. So what we have to check out, WACC, this cost of capital should always be less than the return from the investment. This is like a target for in front of company. This is like I must earn definitely 8%. This is cut-off rate. This is minimum required rate of return. Then beyond this, that is my profit. So every company has to set a goal in front of it, that is like whatever the cost of capital we are paying on the capital what we have raised, we should achieve that much return percentage. Beyond that we can expect the profits. So with this I hope you have understood the concept of cost of capital. In the next session I would like to explain individually how do you calculate the cost of debenture, cost of preference share, cost of equity shares and cost of retained earnings. Students, please go through this video and verify whether you have understood the topic or not. It's a very important concept in financial management itself.